Hi, everybody. All right, so I'm making this video to share my personal experience working with transforming demons. We live on planet Earth, right? It's not particularly the most like happy, joy world that we could possibly choose to exist in. So living here on this planet, you're going to experience the challenges of everyday life. You experience the challenges of everyday life all day, and then night, and then day, and then night again, right? And so part of living is just being challenged all the time in order to feel and experience balance and happiness and joy and harmony and all of that kind of stuff. So when you can't feel that type of vibration on the regular, you're starting to sort of sink into different experiences like depression or anxiety, or you can have all types. I mean, we live in a world where there's all types of ailments going on with the mind, the emotions, the body, all of that kind of stuff. So when you're not feeling 100%, it's very easy for you to emit emotions that are extremely attractive and delicious for entities. And so people, they think that demon possession is going to be like The Exorcist. Your head's going to start spinning around and you're going to barf out, "Help me." You're going to feel that way, but actually there's quite a lot of different versions of this. So basically, I don't even know where to begin because every demon is different. And some demons are not as malicious as you would think. So I'm asking my spirit guides to help me learn how to start this conversation. So they're saying, so what have you seen? Because I see them on my journey healings quite frequently. So I do these soul rebirth journeys, and so I can project my consciousness and my soul into your spiritual atmosphere. So when I go through your spiritual atmosphere, I'm sort of looking for certain things in order to help you feel better, right? So when I go into these spaces, I see things that are reflections of soul attachments, soul fragments, demon entities. I see realms of hell. I see all this kind of stuff. Because when you're not happy, you're kind of in a state of hell, aren't you? And so that's kind of the experience that I see in the spiritual layers. So there's such a wide span of conversation that I could go on related to this. So, I don't even know where to begin. We're talking about demons here. So there's demons of different types. Some of them are that I've come across are extremely evil, and they're very hard to transform. So if you have an attachment to a darker entity, you can either release the attachment through different methods of just cutting an energetic cord, or just choosing not to be a part of that vibration anymore, actually choosing to alter your patterns of behavior and choosing to walk a pathway of joy and happiness. Like whatever you can do to make joy and happiness your number one each and every day, that automatically pushes you up and out of that relationship. So it just happens naturally. But sometimes there's real challenges. Even I too. We're all humans. We're all vulnerable to our emotions all the time. And so sometimes you need help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. Nothing wrong at all with that. Even I need help sometimes. Me, the nutcase, needs help too sometimes. So I'm like trying to figure this out. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you what the types I've seen. So when I do this work, I'm doing it to transform them. When I first started, it's sort of like, I'm going to allow them to choose if they want to enter into the light or if they want to release. So I would just either detach them from your spiritual atmosphere, or I would transform them. I would allow it to be their choice. Anymore, I don't allow it to be their choice. I just if I'm going to cross paths with you, it's your time. It's your time to transform now in the light. And some of them are very hard to transform. Some of them are. And I need to have a lot of help from heaven in order to accomplish the work. The thing is, once they transform in the light, they're absolutely overjoyed and thrilled that you would not give up on them, and that you persisted, and that you allowed them to return to that vibration or that experience of the consciousness, of that experience of the divine light. Souls really do become contaminated through the experience of incarnating. They choose differently, right? Sometimes you get a wild hair care and you do something that's really unlike yourself. But that's just you're choosing to do it differently, right? So some souls come into the incarnate state and they have experiences that absolutely corrupt them. And now they're sort of exploring an incarnation cycle of learning, right? And so you start developing certain behaviors that you just can't get out of. And now they start to kind of hang out with you from lifetime to lifetime, and they become a part of your expression. Now you're a real piece of work in the physical. And I mean, there's different varieties of pieces of work. Some human beings, I mean, are just like demon souls. So some of us sort of get locked into a behavior and we don't know how to get out of it. We feel trapped by it. We can't figure out how to heal that sort of behavior in us. And we're talking about the behaviors that are manipulative, controlling, abusive. We acknowledge, some of us can acknowledge that we're not right, but we can't stop it. Some of us don't care. We're just we just feel better when we're putting other people down. And some of us are real freaking, like we want to be the nightmares of the universe. So we have different varieties of human beings that are sort of in the darker explorations, while we have certain human beings who really are just vulnerable to their emotions. They really want help. They really want to transform in the light, right? So you have demons like this too. You have souls that really are ready to transform in the light. They don't want to be a part of this sort of darker flavor. It's just part of their exploration, and they're trying to unwind that sort of reel. And so some of them, though, are sort of like manipulated sort of demons beget demons beget demons. So some of them actually have an odd attachment with even more variety of demons. And so you find them in these demon worlds, and they're like demons, the demon puppets or something. It's really crazy. So when you try to transform demons of this sort of middle flavor kind, you actually need to go into the root of where this comes from, because it's like an energetic virus. So where does the energetic virus come from for this specific behavior? Now you have to go really deep to find where it started, and you need to transform the space, the demon space, and you have to transform the demon as well. And once you transform the demon space and that demon, now you transform all these sort of upper layers, which are more recent. Sort of, you have a root layer, it's really old, right? You want to get the root of the weed. You don't want to just pull the top of the weed out. The weed will grow back. So you got to get to the root, right? So you enter into one of these sort of middle ranges where they're just really corrupted by this experience. They can't get out of it, and they're almost to a flavor of they're just jerks, you know, and they're sort of attached to an even worse jerk who's been a jerk for a lot longer, like thousands of years, and then that jerk is actually attached to even older jerk. We call them jerks. I mean, they're demons, but they're like jerks, but they're really actually souls that have all explored an alternate pathway, and they're part of a vibration that challenges us who want to experience the love and joy of all. Now we have to experience the jerks that challenge us to experience the love and joy of all. But those guys actually have been transformed into this sort of expression, and when you can transform their energy vibration back to what is harmonious and balanced, then now they actually find relief in this. They actually find joy. They actually find renewal, rebirth of their expression, and they're totally happy releasing from all of this. So this is my personal live in the field experience with demons, because that's what I do. I help people with their emotional, mental, physical ailments, and then when I go and do project my consciousness at a distance, I don't actually have to know what you look like. I just need you to, if you request a soul rebirth journey with me, for instance, you get 2 hours of focused spiritual healing, which is a lot of time. I actually project my consciousness or soul into your spiritual atmosphere, and then I go and do the dirty work for you. I do the dirty work that is a reflection of why you have this issue, and oftentimes I see demons involved. And I can see them in different ways. Sometimes what looks like a demon is actually just sort of an energy vibration that just presents itself. It looks like a dark energy being or something, and then it just sort of goes away, and it's part of the vibration of the experience. But some of them really do have a consciousness. Some of them really do have a soul expression. And so that's what I look for. Some of these dark energy beings, they're quite dark, but they're actually quite loving. So what you see or think would look like a demon is actually quite a loving entity. It's really crazy. You can't judge the book by the cover. You actually have to sense them out. So you have people, right, who are afraid of praying, like connecting with the spirit realm, because they don't want to connect with demons. They don't want to connect with dark entities. They're afraid of being manipulated and all that. So now where's the root of the problem? Your fear, right? Your fear of being manipulated. Do not ever be afraid. Trust me, you're surrounded by all kinds of love. I go into some really sick and twisted spaces, and it's absolutely derailing for me emotionally, mentally. It is hard for me because I see things that I really am intolerant. I just don't want to digest that wisdom. But how am I going to heal you unless I actually go into the space and I transform it? Some of us have to go into the spaces and help others to transform things that are very dark, right? So I am going into some very dark spaces, and I have the confidence and know-how. I know how to do this. I trust that my spirit guides have me all the time. I'm surrounded by angels who are watching over me. I step into some really bad spaces, and I actually have angels just come out of heaven and just pull me out of them. So there is protection of me even when I walk into something. If they're not pulling me out of there, I'm safe. They will pull me out of there if it is not safe. The energy vibration is too contaminating, or it's not aligned with my goals. I'm here to do the work to transform, but I also need to make sure I myself am staying in balance and harmonized and in a state of peace too. So what else can I tell you about this? So realms of hell. Okay, so you have you have an experience, right? You have an experience that you've been dealing with for years, let's say 10, 20 years or something. And it's really repetitive, a broken record sort of experience. You cannot get out of this, and you don't know why. And it's just constant and will not go away. So I go into your spiritual atmosphere. What do I find there? I'll find realms of hell. Sometimes that is not the most transformative work is for me to find these realms. Sometimes it is. So the older your soul is, the more experience your soul has had and the challenges of the infinite universe, right? You don't incarnate to be happy, happy, joy, joy. You incarnate to actually experience challenge and then learn how to be happy, happy, joy, joy in the face of challenge, right? So that's the part that's hard. How do you experience happiness when you're faced and inflicted with challenge? So I'll go into what is a realm of hell for your soul. And your soul could be enduring, some of these look really grotesque. Some of them look very, very disturbing. You could see a lot of souls just sort of in this space. There's like a master demon down here in this really dark space, and you have all these souls sort of playing out a rotation of a behavior, and they're unable to get out of it. So this demon sort of has a manipulation over a lot of souls, not just your soul, but lots of souls. And so that's why you want to transform the demon. You don't want to just detach him from your spiritual atmosphere. You need to transform the demons. People think, just cut the cords. Well, the demon actually needs you to transform him. So these realms of hell are really a reflection of why you cannot get out of this sort of odd behavior. You're literally trapped in this sort of odd state. I see this stuff. It's almost shocking. There was a point in time where I was convinced that it was all a huge manipulation. There is no hell. There are no demons. There is no Satan. It was just a fear tactic until I started doing this work, and it's like there really are demons that are attaching to people. There really are spaces where souls are sort of in a state of suffering because they can't get out of the behavior in the incarnate state. And so in this sort of soul fragmented state, they actually are sort of in a state of suffering. So you have an infinite soul, right? It's always in heaven. Your higher self is always in the oneness. Well, it fragments out and explores incarnations. And so you have fragmented selves that are actually experiencing trauma and stuff like that through living life. That's why it's so important that we human beings actually choose to love each other, see each other. Hello, I'm Abby. I love and care for you. We all are suffering here. We all are struggling. Every single person you see, whether they drive a fancy car or whether their car is falling apart, you see them walking around, they aimlessly, they don't look like they have a home. I mean, there's people of all varying types here, and we just don't want to bother with any of them. We just want to stay in our own little world with our own little friends, and we don't want to help each other. It's just, we live on a planet. I get it. Africa is a long ways away. So if we don't see the children starving, they're not really a part of our reality. But yet we're all incarnating here together. We're all one consciousness. We're all in this thing together. Why not help each other? So demons are a part of the experience here because we allow our society to be a reflection of the chaos. When we allow our society to be a reflection of the love and divine light, and harmony and oneness, where we actually care about each other, now there's no reason for demons to even have an existence here. Now we aren't suffering. Our soul fragments are not in torture, and I don't even have to do my job anymore because it's like a Care Bear world. Anyway, so I'm just here to give you some insight on what I see when I do my soul rebirth journeys. I'm also putting an option out in my store because rebirth journeys are really to transform the they're for everything, anything and everything that you need help with. But demon possession specifically is quite a lot more intensive because if you know you have a manipulative demon that is attached to you, they're often really difficult to transform. They love attention. They love that they have you, they let you know that they're there, and they're sort of, there's different versions of them. It's really hard to, every human being is different. Every soul is different. No two snowflakes are the same. No two demons are the same either. But transforming sort of entities attached to depression is one thing. Transforming, from a satanic ritual is extremely exhausting. I've projected into a demon's soul in order to free a soul fragment. That was a real nightmare. There's different levels of challenge. I don't always know what I'm getting myself into, but demon possession specifically, if you're coming to me specifically for a demon possession, that's going to be way more intensive work, and it's going to be a lot harder for me to transform them. It's just their style or their nature to be a little more difficult. However, if you're just suffering from depression, I've suffered from depression myself for 20 years. I know it's very hard, and so it's hard to cycle out of that. It's hard to. So those sort of demons could just be helping you with that experience on your life journey. They're not actually, they're just sort of attached to the sort of really yummy digestive energy related to that ailment. It's different. Everything is different. So anyway, I'm just going to share this video. I don't have a lot. This is my little gift to humanity in order to help you see or experience, what demons are all about, why demons exist. What is your connection with a demon? How can you release a demon from your spiritual atmosphere? You really can do it just by choosing to do things differently. Just by simply choosing to alter your behavior. By choosing to take a walk every day between the hours of 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. or something like that. One tiny little flavor of difference that you're just giving yourself a positive gift to boost or enhance your experience of life, that does help you just naturally raise the vibration and cycle out of their sort of control factor. But some of us really need help in order to release from them. And so once you are released through transforming them, it's a monumental difference that you will experience in life. So I'm just going to share this, okay? Nice short video from me, just to talk a little bit about my experience. If you're interested in experiencing spiritual healing with me, that's really my specialty, is my special nook. I love spiritual healing. I love energy work. I love helping demon souls, or basically souls that need to be transformed. They need to return to the light. They need to know that they are loved too. They just sort of cycle out of control. They just need to go back. Let me help you. Let me help your demons. just visit my website. It's abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Spiritual, if you're interested in spiritual healing, a soul rebirth journey does provide up to 2 hours of extremely profound transformative energy healing work. You can have more than one soul rebirth journey done in a lifetime. You can do thousands of them. It's 2 hours of focused time in an area, and we transform it, and then I actually do rebirth your soul in the light, and then now you return to our physical, sort of the soul. I'll have to make another video on this. I don't want to complicate this too much. But then too, I also offer just spiritual healing gifts of 15 or 30 minutes of time just to focus on really enhancing just your overall joy and boost the sort of positive feelings that you can have in life, and really help you feel grounded, and different energy work on that level. So just visit my website and just look around. There's something you'll like there. I also do psychic readings. I do a lot of different things. So anyway, this is my video. I hope you find it enjoyable, and thank you for watching.